right. Peace to the darkest minds of the light. Assalamu alaikum. Shalom. Jambo. Ashe. What else? Hotep. All the greetings of love and light to the darkest minds of the light. This won't be a long live stream. Now I say that and then it'll probably be long, but I just wanted to quickly start a discussion on the symbolism of horns and crowns in different depictions of gods and in spirituality. Peace, Benita. You know what? I'm going to call you by Tuesday. I got to get back with you on your email. I miss you and I love you. So peace to you, sis. I have a lot to talk to you about. I can't really discuss right now on this stream, but I'm glad you joined. This isn't going to be long. I'm just going to talk a little bit about the depiction of horns, start a discussion that hopefully I can continue for a while, just like I'm just continuing the discussion about blood sacrifice and in the Bible, and not just the Bible, in all of worship. So let's start off and discuss the earliest depictions of horned gods. And now there are a couple of gods. I want to talk about the one that I see is the oldest is Bes, not to be confused with that god's consort or counter feminine, which is Bast. And we're going to look at Bes. But before I go to Bes, let me just pull up one other god before I forget. Horned god. Pashupati. That is an Indian god. Ancient Indian god. I believe. Okay. Let's get that one up here. Oh, Pashupati. Okay. Okay, that is also the Hindu god Shiva. Interesting. Huh. So, give me a moment. I'm here with you. I don't want to get very quiet. For some reason, it came up as Shiva. I want to get him with the horns. All right. Not seeing it. Let me see. All right. Here it is. Okay. Let's just look at. Now, some people might say, how can you say Bes is a horned god? Well, let's take a look. Let me read some information on Bes. This is off of the Rosicrucian Egyptian Museum website. So it says, Bes was a widely worshipped deity in ancient Egypt, Kemet, and was believed to be the deity of music, merriment, and childbirth. Let's add in specifically fertility, okay? As such, Bes was thought to be a protector of children, and depictions of him were frequently seen in the bedrooms of ancient Egyptian Kemetic households. Bes's unruly beard, lion's mask. I don't know if he always had a lion's mask, but I'll show you some artwork, some pictures of some artwork, some artifacts of Bes. Loud instruments and wild dancing were all thought to drive away evil spirits. Bes was thought to be a protector of both couples and pregnant women. That's the fertility. And was commonly worshipped by ancient Kemetic newlyweds. Why do you think? Because Bes is a god of fertility. Bes was consistently shown as a dwarf-like being with arms much too long for his body. His male member was usually showing very prominent, and this depiction of what the ancient Kemetics viewed as imperfect human is very unusual among the artwork of deities. Now, the reason Best looked much different, this is what some experts say, much different from all the other depictions of the Kemetic gods, is because Best is thought to be, there's evidence that Best was originally the god of the Twa. Okay, so let me get that information and show you Best. Let's see, let me show you this one. Okay, let me share my screen. P Silent K, Tony, Chiba, Denisha, Cavadias. Oh, and King Shaw. Peace. Peace to you, brother. And long live NapahShadah. Y'all go over to his channel and subscribe. Look at his movements. Justice for Tasia. And support this brother, please. All right, let me get to showing you what I was going to show you. Support this brother, please. What happened? All right, let me get to showing you what I was going to show you. Why am I echoing? All right, let me get to. Okay, I see why. All righty, where was it? I was going to screen share something and I lost it. I'll get it. Just give me a moment, please. Best. Here it is. This is what I want to screen share. All righty. There's so many, so which one? I guess I'll share this one. This must be it. Oh yes, here it is. So this is Best. Now you see, if you see this god, you would say, okay, that doesn't look like the depictions of Osiris and Asar. I'm working out the Kemetic names. I know I go between the Hellenized names and the Kemetic names, so bear with me. Asar, Osiris, and this doesn't look like the depiction of Aset, Isis. It's much different looking god, okay? Now, as you see in the picture, in the image, the different images, he's got, he's, as I said, a dwarf, and he's got something on his head. Now, some say that is some experts who examine this artwork say it's feathers. See this one? On this one, you can see him with his tongue out, which is, he's often got his tongue out as well. And he's got this thing on top of his head. Some depictions, they look like feathers, and sometimes it looks like a basket. Sometimes it also looks like horns. Now, stay with me. Horns, crowns, okay? The gods, here's a depiction of him someone did, of him looking more, obviously, more formidable and menacing, if I might add. He's got wings on this one. So this is someone's artistic rendering of the god. So here is another one. I don't know if you all can see me changing these. Yes, you can. Great. Where was I? I'm here. So here he is, another depiction with the horns. So the horns and the crowns. The crown, the origin of the crown starts with the horns. And I'm going to really try to stay on track because I know I said I wanted to make this short. If you look at this one right here, this image, let me show you. You see the little, I guess you can say that would be some type of crown or headdress. So all of the headdress go back to horns, and the horns go back to really fertility. Two things we want to keep in mind. We want to think about the fertility, as obviously the reproductive members, not just of the male, but also of the female. We look at the womb, the fallopian tubes. Okay, and we also want to look at the moon, the crescent moon. Sorry if I'm all over the place, y'all. You know how I can get. So I got to stay focused. So I showed you Bess, and so let me stop screen sharing that. And I was gonna read. So we get it. Bess is a fertility god. So let me go through these gods. Oh yes, I wanted to show you this one too, because if you look closely, the basket, it just looks so. It looks, if you look closely at it, even though there is that headpiece on this depiction, it looks a lot like horns. I just want to show this really quickly. Okay, stay with me. Don't fall asleep. I don't want to bore you, but okay, let me see this. Now this is a depiction of ancient art. I don't know if you can see it very well. Now you know that little basket or box is on top of the head of the god. It's not showing, but right in here, the way it curves out, it just to me looks like it reminds me of horns. Of course, you can see his fertility represented, and yeah, so that is one of the oldest horn gods that I've seen. Now, I'm just really trying to run through all the horn gods. So let me show you another horned god that is very ancient. Is Hathor. Okay, Hathor also. Excuse me if I'm not using her Kemetic name, but Hathor also is a goddess of fertility. Okay, now she predates the goddess Aset, who is Isis. She predates that goddess, and although she predates her, they both have horns and have the moon. Some would say sun, but they have the circle, the moon, in their crown. Okay, I'm going to argue that that's the moon, and I'll get to it because the moon represents fertility in a lot of ancient religions, ancient spirituality. So let me screen share this one. Thank you for your patience, everyone. All right, we're getting to the bottom of this. Don't worry, y'all. It's going to heat up. I know, just getting the stove going. Okay. All right, so here we have the goddess, the Egyptian cow goddess. Sorry, I clapped so loudly. Hathor. Now, again, we have the horns. She's a fertility goddess, and she's being depicted and symbolized as a cow. One reason for that is a cow is a symbol of fertility. Why? Because the milk, we know as humans, milk comes from the mother, the woman. So the cow being an animal, yes, I know horn. Also, there are goats and other bovine and ovine. Sheep, are ovine, and the cows are bovine. So the sheep, the goat, the cow, they bring milk. So all of these animals are linked to fertility because of the horns, which represent, like I said, the male and the female reproductive members. And with the mother specifically, with Hathor, this is the representation of, the cow, I'm sorry. It's symbol. The fertility is represented through the symbolism of the cow who brings forth milk. And also, this is my take on it. The belly, the udders of the cow are rounded out, and they remind us of, a pregnant belly. Okay, so the moon part is all the way back from the beginning of time. We looked at the cosmos, and we linked our spirituality, our gods, to the cosmos. And so obviously the way the moon wanes and the cusp of the moon that looks horn-like when the moon is in its crescent, that can be also represented as horns. But we also see the cycle of the woman is in sync with the moon's cycle. That's why many women, myself included, refer to the menstrual cycle as the moon cycle. So then again, we have the fertility of represented with the horns, the cow, and the moon with this goddess Hathor. So I hope I was screen sharing. Was I? Yes. All right. Oh, am I lagging? I'm not lagging, am I, Tony? I don't know if Tony was talking about. That's a little different from what Sis Cosmos was saying last night. Oh, okay. You talking about? Okay. Yeah. Well, she's right about that, Tony. That's another. That's That's also, when the body, the female is in the womb, and well, let me take that back, because I know. Okay, when the male member is forming, it's pretty much well, let me not say that either. I really don't want to get into talking about the private parts. I'm not being prude. It's just that I want to stick to focusing on the horns, but I guess I have to. I come on, Napah. So in the womb, it starts out small, and then once the Y chromosome starts to activate on the what's it called, the genome, I think it's called, the Y chromosome, something kicks in. I got to remember. I got to stay on track, but some type of hormone kicks in, or gene kicks in, and then the male member starts to elongate. Jeez, what's wrong with me? God, lighten up, right? But anyway, yes, it can. You can also look at the woman's the clitoris as a representation of a horn as well. Gee whiz, I didn't know I was this prude. Let me get back to this. But that's great. No, that is really a good point. So, no pun intended. Genome. Interesting. Hey, Rose. All right. So where was I? So, but I mean, in all seriousness, there's absolutely nothing wrong with discussing the male members and the female members, especially when we're learning and we're linking. I said this before, and I'm going to have to find a way to really appropriately discuss this, because I'm finding that religion and all of our worship and all of our beliefs are based on our eating and our reproducing, which equals our survival. Eating and reproducing equals our survival. So, yes, peace, King Grady. So back to, I appreciate the audience participation. It really is awesome. So back to looking at the old. So we covered Hathor, We know that Aset also has a horn. She wears, in fact, Aset took over the horn crown with the moon in the middle that you see here. She took it over from Hathor. So we've done Bes, Hathor, and now we will look at Osiris. Osiris. There are many horned gods. We're going to start with the ones of Africa, which are the oldest ones, actually. I had Osiris up here. Osiris. Here it is. Okay. All right, family. Okie dokie. Let's see here. Osiris. Great. The horned god. Okay. This is just this. Oh, I already had this up, actually. Darn it. Let me see if I can get it up here. Hold on. Give me a moment, because, well, I guess I don't have it up. Okay. Now, I am not a participant, a follower of, or a subscriber to the religion of Wicca. So please don't. I am going to this Wiccan website because they have some great information, but I don't subscribe to Wicca. Okay. So let me stop screen sharing and then go back in. I thought I saw. Oh, all right. Okay. Let's see here. Just this picture, this artwork on the left is just annoying to me. I'm not even going to show you this guy. Well, let me show you his hair. Okay, really? Yeah, perfectly coiffed hair. This is supposed to be pan. Just looks ridiculous to me. But hey, no offense to the artist. All right. It just makes me laugh. Now, let's read this. Now, this isn't correct. Well, there is a cave in France. It's called the Caverne des Trois Frères. It's in Ariège, and it is a place in France. But I don't know for sure because of what I'm being taught from Infudishi and looking at the information from my people who have really done extensive research and shown that the civilization of Kemet is older, but actually when I said civilization, I stopped myself. No, scratch that. See, I worked it out myself. This actually probably is the oldest because it's Paleolithic. I just read that. So family, what I'm trying to say is everyone, when I say family, that means everyone in the audience. The first known, this is a breakdown of the horned gods. I was going to show you Osiris, but let me read this. So sorry, forget about what I said about Kemet because this says Paleolithic. So this is just information showing the oldest, depiction, oldest artwork, human artwork. So the first known representation of a horned deity is in the it's in a cave. It's called Caverne des Trois Frères, and that means the cave of three brothers. Okay. In Ariège, and that's in France, created during the Paleolithic period. The wall paintings depict a man wearing animal skins with stag antlers on his head, and you see that right here. The figure is thought to represent God incarnate performing a sacred dance of sympathetic magic. Interesting, because didn't we hear that Bes does the dance? Isn't that interesting? Because the god Bes does the dance. The figure is thought to represent a god incarnate performing a sacred dance of sympathetic magic to increase the number of animals for the tribe to hunt. Again, the worship is linked to eating and surviving, or it's either always linked to eating and surviving through eating, sustaining yourself, and or reproduction, sexual activity. Representations of a horned god. Now I'm showing you the Osiris picture. Representation of a horned god were common in Mesopotamia, Babylonia, and Kemet. The greatest Kemetic god or Egyptian horned god is Osiris, the giver of all fertility, who was often depicted with the horns of a bull. Osiris was believed to be incarnate in a succession of sacred bulls and worshipped in that form as the god Apis. Okay, this was yet another form and manifestation of Osiris. Apis was another bull god, as the god of fertility and also the god of death, because he went in resurrection. So we know the story of Osiris. I'm going to skip Pan and go straight to Cernunnos, and some people say Cernunnos. The greatest god of Western Europe was Cernunnos or Cernunnos, whose name simply means the horned. Cernunnos is depicted as a mature bearded man with stag antlers wearing a torque. A torque implies nobility in the Celtic culture. Cernunnos often carries or wears other torques in his hands. Now, if you could see that, unfortunately, it's very small. It almost looks like a crescent moon, what he's holding. And in the other hand, he's holding a snake. And you know what I think about with the serpent. So we have that god. And so moving along. Now, Cernunnos is very similar to Pashupati. Pashupati was an Indian god, or is an Indian god, and Pashupati is seated in that same posture and looks very much similar to Cernunnos. Now, I think I'll stop screen sharing for a moment. Peace Onyx Black 88. Now, family, why, Nepal? Why are you doing this? What are you doing? Like, why? Because, we have people with the Christianity and the demons. Satan has the horns, but I'm going to continue this series. I'll call it a series, and I'm going to show that God is. I can prove that. Let's say Jesus is depicted with horns, and Moses. Oh, I got to show you that before I let you go. Moses is depicted with horns. Now people say Jesus depicted with horns. Girl, stop it. But that halo that you see and all that artwork, that is the same as the symbolism of horns and crowns. It's the sun behind the head, and it's coming up with the crescent and the cusp, same as the moon coming up with the crescent and the cusp. So the circle, still there's that at the bottom, the cusp, those are horns. So all of these gods are just depicted with horns, not just Satan. Let's look at Moses at the Vatican, and I will also get for you. Can I get that big? Okay, great. Let me screen share it. I saw Jesus with the horns on a Sakari billboard. I believe you. But they were trying to say it in a bad way. I'm talking about what the Bible says. Peace to you, no saint. Peace to, I think it said peace to Silent K, everybody. Okay, look at this. This is at the Vatican, family. Let's look at those horns on top of Moses' head. Those are horns. Okay, but why do you think, though? You think that, oh, well, the Vatican's evil. That's what they'll say. Oh, thank you, Silent K. I wasn't looking. Yes, Apis Bull. We're going to get, because you know what, Silent K? I know you're like me in a way. Well, I don't know you very well, but I've seen you moving, and you're on the train of Serapis, Apis, or Serapis. Ser, the Latin meaning, one means to guard, and then another one means to link to, and then the verb in Spanish, ser, means to be, and then apis, the god. It could either mean link to the god apis, guard the god apis, meaning protect and make it holy, you know, represent it in, you know, how they say contend for the gospel. So it could say God, or ser apis could mean be apis, be the god apis. So yeah. Anyway, here's the horns on Moses. Now, some might say, well, that's the Vatican, they're evil. Well, the Bible says that he has horns. There's a scripture. And they try to they meaning the powers that be, who make everything esoteric and occult, they hide it and try to tell you he was glowing, but that word means horns. Let me get it. I should have had that. I didn't even think about that till right now. All right. Okay, let's see. Here it is. It says, I'm going to say this. I'm going to share this with you because, you know, this just reminded me, I believe Moses of the Bible had horns. Yeah. Did you already know that, Rose? Yes. Let me share this with you, family, my friends. I was a little rusty right there when we started talking about, I should be more like my sister, Cosmic Queen. I went back to thinking how I was like fumbling over my words when I was trying to discuss the genitalia. Get over yourself, right? Like Napah. I think I'm not uncomfortable, to be honest. YouTube, you know, I'm absolutely comfortable, but YouTube, you know, I was mostly thinking about getting flagged, but I was trying to play like I was being prude. All right, let me get this for you, my friends. All righty then, let's read this article, shall we? Okay, this is Reality Decoded. It's a blog. That's okay, because the scripture is going to be on this blog, and it's a very reliable Bible version, translation version. Dewey Rames is a very old version. The biblical Moses had horns, but now he doesn't. St. Jerome of Stridon was a Latin Christian. Now, I just picked this up. We're reading it for the first time together, okay? Christian priest who is best known for his translation of Bible into Latin, which he completed between 382 AD and 406 AD. His translation is called the Vulgata, the Latin Vulgate, right? Commonly used translation. So this is very reliable translation. It remained the official biblical text used by the Roman Catholic Church until the 20th century. Wow, that's very recent, y'all. Here is where it gets strange. His translation shows Moses having horns. This is the reason statues, paintings, books, and carvings depict horns on the head of Moses. The Chapel of New College, here's a picture of Moses with horns, looking like one of the Bee Gees. I don't know if anybody, how old you guys are out there, or if you like old 60s and 70s music. Looking like one of the Doobie Brothers. Anyway, Exodus chapter 34, verse 29 to 30, Dewey Rames version, 1899 American edition. And when Moses came down from the mountain Sinai, he held 2 tablets of the testimony, and he knew not that his face was horned from the conversation of the Lord. And Aaron and the children of Israel, seeing the face of Moses horned, were afraid to come near. So it was a true belief for many that Moses had horns. But here in the present day, many, for the most part, don't believe he had horns and follow the translation that support. Now, before I read the next one, what did I tell you, family, about the moon and the sun and the halos? Don't those all connect as far as, remember I said the rays are coming from the cusp out of the head? They look like horns, right? That's what I'm saying. The depiction of the horns, God, Jesus, all the deities with the horn, it's not something evil. That's what I'm trying to point out. It isn't originally evil. And then from the horns, we have the shining crown, the gold and jewels glistening in the light, catching all the light. So again, we have that glory of light, and that's what the horns are. That's one part of the symbolism. Remember, there's many, how we say Bess is a god of protection, fertility. So there's different aspects, different characteristics. We have the glory and the light and the brilliance, the illumination of the horns and the crown. And then we have, which also we have the halo, that's just like the horns. But then we have the fertility. Even in the God with the horns, we can think of eternal life, everlasting life. Because why? When you reproduce, that's eternal life. You're continuing to live on. You're actually literally passing your physical self on through the DNA. So you're living eternally. So let's read the new version. Exodus 34, 29, 30. Now this is what we say, the esoteric. See how it gets hidden? Because the what was his name again? The man who, Saint Jerome, duh. My sister would be very upset with me. She's a devout Catholic. Saint Jerome, he wasn't trying to, he was just doing his translations, and there was no politics behind it. Why? Because remember, that original text was only available to the Catholic priests. So they had no reason to hide anything. It was only until the text was given to us through the printing press, and the Bible was sent out for all of us. Then they had to start hiding, making things esoteric. So in the King James Version, and it came to pass when Moses came down from Mount Sinai with 2 tablets of testimony in Moses' hand, when he came down from the mount, that Moses wist not the skin of his face shone. Get it? The illumination, talking about that light, that cusp in that circle of light. It looks like horns, while he talked with them. And when Aaron and all the children of Israel saw Moses, behold, the skin of his face shone, and they were afraid to come nigh. Now that was, what a difference, right? I'm going to stop sharing that and see what you guys have to say about this. What a big difference. That's what you can see. Oh, I love you, Benita. You've taught me a lot too. Much love to you. You're such a wonderful sister. It was politics behind the Vulgate. Oh, I know it was politics behind every Bible, but the Vulgate was originally only for the, let's say, the priest. You do agree with that, right, Greg Phillips? Many added versions of the New Testament came with Aramis, and the Latin translation. Yes, that is a great conversation. We will have that soon about the church and the Bible and politics. So thank you for that input. And let's see here. So, thank you, Tori. So you see that? Do you see that, Rose? Do you see the connection? What I'm doing is, what I like to do, if you haven't noticed, is to take all these things that we've been taught are evil. The snake, the serpent, when I say evil, I mean let me rephrase that. I like to take all the things that we've been taught that God of the Bible hates. Let me say it again. All the things that we've been taught that the God of the Bible hates, I like to go in the Bible and say, no, look, they're lying to you. Who told you that God of the Bible hates horns? Who told you that the devil has horns? And that Jesus and Moses and all the holy beings don't have horns? And when I say horns, you get what I'm saying, the symbolism. Who told you that the serpent is evil? Because the Bible doesn't say serpents are evil. Yes, there are some parts of the Bible where there are translations and they say, oh, does God give you a snake to eat? That's not what I'm talking about. There are serpent-like beings that are called seraphim. They're angels. And they stand at the court of God in the Bible. So, and then the blood sacrifice. I like to say, oh, really? Who told you that God doesn't want child sacrifice? Look at this Bible. Who told you God said don't eat human flesh? The Bible says he says it's okay. Yeah. Who said that you can't drink blood? God didn't. Jesus said, drink my blood. I love doing this because what it does is it makes people break their program. If it can just break anyone, some people can break their program and start to really examine. Thank you, Greg. To really examine. Yes. Thank you, Tori. And is it true that Satan did not even show up until the book of Job? You know, the name Shaitan, the adversary, that's what it means in the Hebrew. Possibly it's that name, the adversary, Shaitan. Let me back up a little bit now, before I finish this sentence. Do you know that the Genesis and Job, and don't have the dates, but you can quote me on this. Genesis and Job were both created at the same time, in the same time period. So with that understood, the name and actually specifically pointing out, and then the adversary came, quite possibly they're correct if you're talking about Sakari, if they told you that. Quite possibly Shaitan, the adversary. Let me get the blue letter for you. That particular distinction with that name, brother, and everybody out there, that could quite possibly be correct. However, we need to also know that the book of Job was created around the same time period as Genesis. I know people want to say, oh, wait a minute, what are you talking about? Now, this information, I did I fact checked it before, and it came from Barashango, who is Dr. Barashango, rest in power. It's very reputable teacher and researcher and expert on the Bible. And when I heard that information from him, this was a few years ago. No, specifically, it was 2 years ago. Okay. And I looked it up and I was like, wow, he was right, because I couldn't believe it. So hold on to that information and let me get the blue letter for you so we can look at the name Satan in the blue letter. Okay. And I think so, though. The reason that's why I said they're correct about that. The name Satan. The name Satan. All right, let's get this. And let's see. Can you hear it?
Strong's H7854. Satan.
I was about to say something. I know they're going to take it and use it, but I don't care. I'm going to say it anyway. It's a cool name, though. Don't lie. Satan. I do not. I'm not a devil worshiper. I'm not a Satanist, but the way he said it, I don't know. It just sounded, hey, what's your name? My name's Satan. Oh, okay. Anyway, I'm just trying to add some levity. Okay, let's get back to being serious here. So it is H7854. It means, can you see me screen sharing? Let me make sure. Okay, great. You can. Awesome. Let me get back to it. Here it is. The adversary. See? One who withstands. Adversary. Superhuman adversary. Okay. And then just good old fashioned Satan. All right. Let's see. So it just means the adversary. Now, where we can look at the Strongs, right? My friends and family, we can look at the Strongs and we can see all the locations. So it says Numbers. So let's see here. Numbers. The book of Numbers. Let me see. The name. Why did it not go? I thought it would take me to Numbers, but it's not. So it says it was in Numbers 22, 1st and 2nd Samuel, 1st Kings, 1st Chronicles, of course, Job, like you mentioned, Psalms, Zechariah, Matthew, Mark, and Luke. Now, let's get some of this too. The Jacenius, I like looking at this, Hebrew Chaldee lexicon. Adversary, as in war, an enemy, in court of justice, and also whoever opposed himself to another. So and then it says the angel of Jehovah. Okay. So, and I think that was Numbers. That was Numbers, wasn't it? Let me go back and look at that. Oh, yes, here it is. Let me read this. And God's anger was kindled because he went, and the angel of the Lord stood in the way for an adversary. So see that? Do you see this? No saint in everyone? See how it's saying adversary? It's not saying shaitan. It doesn't say Satan, but it's the same. It's the same thing. You understand? Numbers 22, withstand, 8784. That's the same as Satan, but it's not saying Satan. 1 Samuel's adversary. David, all of it actually says adversary, except for, I'm just going through, we can solve this right here. Oh, here, 1 Chronicles, it says Satan, but that obviously came after. That's written after Job and after Genesis. So to answer your question, now that we just looked at it, they're correct that the name Satan was not used until Job. And they're also correct, Peace Maxburg and Boss Trucker, they're correct when they say Satan in Job, but remember, check it out. Don't take my word for it. I'm sorry. It's going to take a minute for me to go look up the information about the actual dates, but you can quote me. And if you find out that I'm wrong, please come back and teach me something. And, but I got the information. I learned the information from Dr. Barashango, went and researched it myself and found out that Job and Genesis were created in the same time period. So the answer is yes, and we got some in-depth. We went a little in-depth on it. Okay, so it was originally impersonal. It's talking about the name Satan, I assume. In most cases, even though in Kings, excuse me, in King, it's analogous to the anger of the Lord in reference to David and the census. So, yes. Thank you. Oh, okay. Greg Phillips, you have an expert in the audience, folks. I repeat, we have an expert in the audience. And I'm being serious because I mean, you're giving some good information. Everyone out here, I just adore. I'm not gassing you. Because if I didn't adore you, I would just not say it. I adore everyone in the audience. That's some of my favorite audience members I see out here. So thank you for watching this. And like I said, I don't want to make it too long because I want to do like shorter streams about this stuff. And but yes, so the adversary. However, I want to add from my research and from what my hypothesis about the Elohim. Okay, they were 100% the first adversary. And look, we won't see that. We won't see that in the Bible. We would never see that there was a shaitan amongst the Elohim. But from what I've taught, if you haven't heard, that there were the Elohim were against Adam and Eve. Not all of the Elohim. There was a schism in a sense. A part of the Elohim broke away and attempted to. Now, if you don't believe the story is true, it's okay. We're analyzing the story in the text, just like you do when you study Shakespeare. If you don't believe the Bible, just like you do when you study all of the tragedies, the Greek tragedies. So we got that out of the way, right? Right? Good. Okay. So there is an adversary in the garden in Genesis chapter 2 and 3. Yeah. Let's see what Greg Phillips says. The Elohim are who broke up the family and went into what they call in Kabbalah the Qliphoth. Is that correct? Qliphoth. I can't say that. I hope I'm saying that correctly. Some stayed left. Right. So you align with me on that. That's awesome to know. So back to the horns. These horns that we talk about, even the Elohim and the seraphim, I talk about them being flaming light, bodies of light. According to scripture, they were flaming beings. We've got the connection between flame, okay, the illuminated sun and moon, causing if it's over the head of the person in the art, it's going to show as a halo, or it's going to show horns from the cusp. Let's look at what a cusp is. Since I keep saying cusp. Let me stop sharing that. And let me stop sharing this. So let me show you what I mean by cusp. I know I have it. I know. Oh, look at that. First try. My camera's at an angle, just for the ladies out there. I know the brothers don't care. Don't have your camera at this angle. It doesn't matter how your face is. Okay, I don't have a double chin. If your camera's at a certain angle, you'll always look like you have a double chin. I was rushing today. So sisters, don't be like me. If you're going to go on camera, raise your camera up a little bit like I usually do. Just want to let you know that, because I'm like, why did I say that? Because you can be well-rounded. You don't have to just be, learning and teaching. You can still be a little, girly, worry about your looks. Come on. We can do it all. Right? We're every woman. We are the first gods of this realm. And that's another thing I want to talk about with the horns. But I digress, and I lost what I had. But I'm going to show you something. Awesome. What is a cusp? Let's see. I had it. Oh, so beautiful to me. All right. So let me screen share for ladies and gentlemen. All right. I think we will be able to do it that way. Okay. Moon. Look at this. Now, if you can see the upper left corner, do you see the moon? Do you see how the bottom is illuminated? It's the moon has it's waning. Actually, it's waxing full, I think. Yes, it's waxing full. It's either waning or waxing. Okay. So waning means that it's turning into the new moon, the dark moon. Okay. So it's full with the brightness. And then when it starts to diminish, 3/4 full, that's waning. Waxing is when it's starting to become full again. Okay. So when it's dark and it starts to lighten up, the dark moon is the new moon. When it's dark and it starts to lighten up, it's waxing full. When it's full and bright and starting to darken again, it's waning to become new, just like the womb. Oh, I love it. I got something here. It's when it's full, ladies, sisters, and brothers who want to know about, the femininity and the fertility of the woman and the divinity. when it waxes full and it's bright, the fullness and the brightness is the life that is in the womb, and in the fullness of even the shape of the belly, even the shape of the woman's, the fundus, the length of the belly from the navel to whatever the pubic bone, and even above, from I'm getting excited here, from just the belly. Calm down, Napah. I start getting like this because I'm super excited about what I just thought of. The belly is the fullness, and the brightness is the life. And then when the woman starts to come closer to delivering the baby, to giving birth, the baby starts to drop down into the canal, and the moon, just like the moon, starts to wane. Awesome, right? I'm not looking at the chat yet because I'm just still flowing. There's some more here. Even when a woman isn't pregnant, in her womb, when she becomes fertile, that's the fullness, that's the life ready. The egg is the moon, the actual ovum, the cell is full and ready to be met with the sperm, ready to be fertilized, connected into one being, waiting. But when it has not been fertilized and there's no sperm available, what does that full moon do? That cell, that ovum, it starts to wane. Okay, there's more. The womb itself, the uterus, it starts to line all this wonderful, you'd say like getting the bed ready, the cushion for the baby, all of this wonderful, these blood cells and richness and everything ready for that egg to go in there and be fertile. Well, the egg does go, and the fallopian tubes. Okay, this, not to get too specific, but my point is the womb starts, it fills up, right? It's ready. But when no child is produced, okay, we got the full moon of the womb. What does it do? It starts to shed the lining and wane. And then the woman starts her moon cycle, her menses. Awesome. I don't know about y'all, but that was awesome. For me, I knew it, but then just hit it right. It hit me right now. It's awesome. So as you see, I didn't look at the chat yet. I love you guys. I love you, you people of my loving family. Okay. I love you, family. Because I don't want to say guys, because there's girls there too, but I love you guys, meaning everyone. So anyway, so we have the crescent. You see the horns? I know you see them. Look at this beautiful, oh my gosh, I love this. Let me get to that. Where am I? I should be screen sharing. Okay. Look at this. Isn't that beautiful? I don't know about you guys, but that is so majestic to me. It's getting me a little emotional. Those horns also look like thunderbolts. I mean, not thunderbolts, lightning bolts. We could get into that. We can really get deep on that. That's why I wish Cosmo King, Queen, Potluck Queen, she would be great to talk to about this stuff. So, thank you. I'm dropping science. Okay. I was like, I'm dripping science. Dripping science. Thank you. So thank you. All right. So let's see what Greg put in here. Compare 2 Samuel. Okay. Yeah. We're going to go back to speaking about the Shaitan. Compare 2 Samuel 24, verse 1 through 2, and 1 Chronicles 21, verse 1 through 2. They are talking about the same event. One has Satan and the other has the anger of the Lord. Got it. Yes. Good point. You know what? You're touching on, you're in my lane right now. And I like that, because is it really, what are we talking about all the time? Is it evil? Is God's anger evil? That's why I stopped using I'm programming myself more and more not to use the word evil unless I check it against what I believe is destructive, malicious equals evil. Okay, if it's destructive and malicious, because some things are destructive and they're not malicious, like we talked about the lining basically being destroyed and of the lining of the womb, but that's not malicious. That's beautiful. That's a cycle of life. So if something is destructive and malicious or maliciously destructive, that equals evil. So how could the wrath of God be malicious? Right? Different conversation, but just throwing that out there. All right, family. So we see the moon. I talked about the horns. Let me stop screen sharing because I'm going to close this out. It's an hour. And I think we need to get over to see Apostle. I'm not sure. I think they're going to be going on at 8, which should be right now. I think Sonetter said 8. But let me see if they're live. Hold on. Let's see. I don't think they're live yet because I told them I told Tonetta I was doing the stream. Nope, not yet. Okay, awesome. Awesome. Okay, we still have some time. Ooh, so good. Okay. Because we have Apostle and Neo X going up against each other today. Peace to Hudi Ma'at Ross Sirius, my brother. Peace, A-Dub. Okay, yes. Oh, it is. You're so cute, Benita. I love you. My birthday is coming up, though. You know, I really have so much respect and love for Jabari. Even though we don't agree on some things, not much, and I listen to him. I love how Jabari said he feels bad when he looks at his cash apps and he hasn't said thank you, and he knows there are people. I feel exactly the same way. If you've cash app me, yes, I am, Greg Phillips. If you cash app me and I haven't, cash app needs to make it to where you could speak back. If I haven't said it publicly, I want to say thank you. I won't go and read all the cash apps because sometimes people don't want that out there. But I appreciate you so much. Whatever you cash app me, I don't care what it is. You took the time to do it and let me know. Hey, I'm thinking of you. Here you go. So I really appreciate every cash app I get. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I'm going to be 25. You know how it is. Just kidding. Just kidding. It's a joke. I'm not going to be 25. Onyx Black, 88. Peace. Now let me get back to being serious here. So the closing, in closing, yes, he does. Thank you so much for the kind words, Tori. I appreciate you. Yeah, that's right. Tell him, no saint. I just want to, in closing, say the horns, they are not evil in any way, shape, or form. Throughout time, very recently, the horns have been depicted as they've been put on depictions of evil demons. I see me doing the air quotes, demons, because I'm also going to go in and do hopefully a presentation, a live on this whole idea of demons and angels. Some are evil, some are good. We've got Asmodeus. Oh, we've got, the Beelzebub. And then we've got Michael and Raphael. It's like we're going to go over that. We're going to really look at that. Because are they really separate? Meaning, are there good angels and evil demons? Or are they all just spiritual beings? Are they all just spiritual beings? Are they all energies that work on different frequencies from different realms? And even in this realm. We're going to go into that. That'll be interesting, right? I think so too. Thank you. Wow. Thank you. You know what? Thank you so much. Humble to you. Look at my hair. Y'all, yeah, my birthday's coming up. So I'm looking up, see if there's any gray. That's what I was thinking. Like, oh gosh, did they see some gray? All right. So anyway, I don't want to leave this on a silly note. But that is what I was thinking. Yeah, we will get to talking about that. We're gonna really challenge what's going on. It's made too simple with the Christianity. God is, the snake is evil, horns are evil, there's demons, there's angels. No, we're gonna look at it. So anyway, I said enough. So much respect to all of you. Thanks for the reminder about NeoX. Yeah, you're welcome. I want to shout out also Esoteric Thoughts. Please go to that channel and subscribe. He's got some excellent, they have on that channel, they have some excellent lessons, some very, very well-known scholars and experts on biblical text. I'm on there on a couple of videos, Esoteric Thoughts. And maybe let me look it up. I'll try to drop the link to the channel in the chat. I really enjoy, I say it over and over and over, but I enjoy doing these streams. It takes me a minute to get going. Got to wait till the grease gets hot before you start frying the chicken. Frying chicken is in the Bible. I kid you not. Frying chicken. Okay. It's in the Bible. It doesn't actually say chicken though. It says the bird offering. Put it in the flour and then put it into the hot oil. It's amazing, right? So here is the channel, Esoteric Thoughts. Got that. I will drop it in the chat. Oh, you did it already. I love you, Benita. Benita is my very, very, very special angel. I have a few. NapahShadah is my angel. I have a connection with her. Never met her, but she is a sweet, sweet angel. And Benita is my angel as well. People say, how can you have one angel? Don't angels, aren't they in the spirit realm? Well, aren't we spirit beings? If you believe in a deity, if you believe in things. Why are you in my chat, T-Duck? Because I don't want you in my chat, brother. I'm not going to block you, T-Duck. But, you're just, don't troll. Okay, I'm not going to block you right now. But don't troll because, this is not the energy that I want on this video. So, I've given you enough attention. And I'm not even going to cut this part of the video off. So, anybody have any questions you want to put in the chat before I close out this hour and 8 minutes? Let's see if I can just close it out on an hour and 9 minutes or an hour and 10 minutes. So it can be 110. Denisha Cavadias. I like your name, by the way. Is it Cavadias or Cavadias? Or is that an L? Oh my God, my eyes. I need my glasses. Is that an L or an I? Denisha, I like that name. Thank you. Yes, I appreciate my fellow Geminis. I have to admit I'm not prejudiced as much as others when it comes to signs, because I've seen certain people like Sonetter. Oh my gosh, you could be the worst person. If he finds out that you're his same sign, he'll just still love that person. Like, but that person, Cavadias. Or is it, but which one is it? Okay, put in the capital letters, the one where it has the accent. Is it Cavadias or Cavadias? Is the accent on the Dias Cavadias? Or is it Cavadias? I like it. I like that name. Like, remember I said I like the name Satan? He said it cool. I'm going to go ahead and play it again one more time. No, I don't like Satan, everyone out there who wants to make it like I do. Listen to this.
Strong's H7854. Satan.
You hear me saying it? Can y'all hear it? He's all, Satan. He's all, Satan. He's saying it on purpose like that. Oh, Kava. Oh, okay. I thought that was a Greek name. I did. All right. I didn't want to mess up and say it wasn't, and it's not, though. Do you hear how he's saying the name, though, you guys? Listen.
Strong's H7854, Satan, Satan.
Saying it like dreamy. Why is he doing that? Why is he doing it like that? Is he doing that on purpose? You know, they know. They're like, I don't like the way you recorded it. Try it again. You said it too angry. You said it too angrily. He probably was saying it like, Satan. No, we don't. Come on. We don't want to sound like, emotional. So he's like, okay, what about this? Satan. Okay, that works. One more time.
Strong's H7854, Satan, Satan.
Yeah, I hear it. I know some of you hear it. So, anyway, the adversary, that's all it means. So thanks for bringing that up, No Saint. It means adversary. It means the adversary of God. And then Greg brought up, he showed us, it means the wrath of God. He showed us some scriptures. I got to go back and look. He says, gosh, I got to go back and get that. That was good. Oh, thank you so much. Thanks to everyone here. Where is that? Darn it. That was good. Oh, here it is. All right. Remember what he pointed out. Compare 2 Samuel 24, 1 through 2. So I don't get it. I already passed the 111. Darn. All right. Let me get it. 2 Samuel chapter 24. I could just go straight to the Satan thing. So you said 2 Samuel chapter 24 and Chronicles 21. Okay. All right. Let me screen share it. Okay. Let's get to the bottom of this. We're doing research. All right. So 2 Samuel. Let me go to that. Where is it at? Oh, here it is. Right here. All right. Let's scroll down some more. 2 Samuel. Where is it? Where is it? Oh, Where is it? How did I miss it? Huh. 24 and 1. So let me just go to it. But I want it to stay on this page. Oh, wait a minute. I think if I just hover over it, it'll tell me. You know what's strange? Usually it'll be right down here. Maybe there's a next page. I know. Give me a minute, please. Okay, whatever. You said 2 Samuel 24 and Chronicles 21. Okay. Okay. 2 Samuel 24. 2 Samuel 24, verse 1 through 2. And again, the anger of the Lord. Can you see it? Let me see if you can all see it. All right. And again, the anger of the Lord was kindled against Israel. And he moved David against them to say, go, number Israel and Judah. Okay. So let's look at that with the tools. See what Greg was talking about. And is it adversary? Let's see. I think it is. Let's see. Where is it? Oh, here it is, right? No? Huh. I don't see Satan on here, though. Maybe it says against Israel. Is that why? That's weird that it's not showing. This, hold on here. Against. Let's see. I get what you're saying though with the adversary. Maybe you want to. Now, are you saying, because I can see where it does say against Israel, that would be at an adversary, but I don't actually see the name Shaitan. But I think what you're pointing out is there is an aspect of an adversary, right? Let me look at the chat and see if you're answering. Okay. But they are okay. It says Satan in the other verse. Thank you, Tootie. I'm taking my time. Thank you, brother. It says Satan in the other verse. Oh, but they are talking about the same event. I'm sorry, I didn't read the next verse. My apologies. Let me do that. Okay. Oh, because it says, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying, yes. Verse 2. For the king said to Joab, the captain of the host, which was with him, go now through all the tribes of Israel, from Dan even to Beersheba, and number ye the people, that I may know the number of the people. It says Shaitan. It's interesting. I'm going to have to look in the chat again and see what you're saying. I don't see it. Let me look and see what you get the explanation with. But they are talking about the same event. Okay. All right. You know what, though? I still agree with what you're saying. I just don't see where the actual words, but you know what? That's how we got there, Greg and everybody. Remember, I went from the definition of Shaitan with that verse. You remember, I was on the definition of Shaitan, and it says 2 Samuel 24. So I get it. It's not saying Shaitan, but it still is it's the same exact definition. Because let's go back to that verse. Remember, Shaitan, here we are. We're on the verse, right? I mean, the verse, on the word. Shaitan, right?
Strong's H 7854. Satan.
Now, Satan is H 7854. And then we go down and we look at all the Bible verses that it occurs. And here, right here, it says 2 Samuel chapter 19, 23, and chapter 24, verse 1. So he's absolutely right. All righty. That was interesting. So what I was saying is, you can't see his comment? Oh, here. He's just, he decided to elaborate and put the verse in. Thank you. So yes, peace to you, Amawale, the lost child that returned home. Prodigal son, maybe? Beautiful. And I love you back. Thank you. I want to say thank you to everyone. Remember, we're going to continue digging deep and really finding out what these scriptures say and what they mean. Okay, because we're linked to ancient writings. The same, we're human beings. Yes, we're different. We're evolving. I believe we're evolving. However, we still have a common thread with the people of our past, our ancestors, the people who came before us. And as far as spirituality goes, we do. And the reason I'm saying that is they wrote down a lot, and they conceptualized God a lot by examining the cosmos and examining their surroundings, but also examining themselves, examining their spirituality, their own consciousness. This is great. I want to close it with that. Like we all have our own souls. Yes, we're all connected by that one universal spark, which is the unfathomable God, whatever you could call God. However, we all have our individual souls. So when I say that is, what I mean is we are within ourselves, okay, with our own consciousness. We've been granted such a great gift to have our own consciousness, our own minds to conceptualize God and our existence, and to, for me, imprint that onto our souls. Our souls are so they're signature to ourselves more than our fingerprints are signature to ourselves. Okay? The reason I'm saying this is so that the people who wrote these holy books, they had their own consciousness. They had their own connection with the almighty, unfathomable God. We have nothing different from them. Okay? But what I'm saying is we're not different. Are some people more spiritually inclined? Some people are more in tune with their consciousness, in tune with the elements, of course. But we all have that ability. That's what I'm trying to say. So you have your own mind, your own connection. We're all connected to the same God, but we have our own consciousness. I want to just drive that home, because as we analyze these ancient texts, we have to do it respectfully. Whether we think it's real or not, we have to really sit back and go, this was something that this is a person's conceptualization of their higher self, or a God beyond them, whatever you want to say it. This is someone's conceptualization of God. And that's what we're all seeking from the beginning, when we were staring at the cosmos, when we were just, out on the plain, tribal hunters and gatherers. We weren't yet, farmers and herders, and we were hunting and gathering, trying to just exist. We were in this element, just trying to exist, imagine. And we sat in the night with our fires going to keep animals away, to keep warm, to bring us all together. And that's another thing we're going to talk about, cooking and how it brings us together spiritually. Cooking and eating. We come together around that fire. We sit and we come together around that pot or that layout of food. And in the nighttime, we look at the lights, and what lights were there? There weren't street lights, obviously. There was only the sky and the other campfires from the other tribes of people in the distance. Do you get what I'm saying, y'all? We looked into the distance, and we could see those fires going in the darkness. How did we distinguish between those fires that we saw in the distance of the plain and the fires that we see above our head? Get what I'm getting at? Then we start to think and see. People see. An atheist would say, "See, it's all made up." You don't get it, my friend. My beautiful atheist friend. You don't understand. It's not that it's made up. It is the journey and the conceptualization, the workings of your own consciousness, which is beyond your physical self. How do we know that? Shout out to Sam Parnia and to all of the scientists who are saying we've got mainstream conventional science is looking into this. And even those mainstream conventional scientists who are atheists, they approach spiritual belief and religion much differently these days than they used to. It's no longer scoffed at. It's no longer looked down on. it's an examination of the human mind and the human psyche. It's so amazing. I mean, this is what we do. Look at, we're going to go to Sonnetter. We see all these different channels. We're thinkers. We're intelligent. We create our own reality. Now, Sonnetter says realismism. What is the difference between reality and existence? There isn't really much of a difference. Yes, there are some distinctions, but your reality and your existence are one. With that said, I want to say peace to the darkest minds of the light. If I lost somebody, I love you. I love you. Just, take the meat out and put the bones on the side. Don't throw the bones away, because you might find out later that you need them to make some bone broth. So they might be useful. For now, you might not really be like, this is crazy. There's like 50% of this I like, but the other stuff, she's a little off. Save it for later. You might need it later. Much love to all of you. Peace, Benita. Peace, Onyx Black 88. King Shaw, New Black World Order. Denisha Cavadias. Tori Bolton, Tahuti Ross Sirius. Greg Phillips L. Animal Instincts. Why are you leaving? Oh, because, Sonnetter's doing a live and I want to make sure I don't overlap with it. But I will be back, my friend. Thank you so much for joining. Share the video, like the video, please subscribe, send some people over to subscribe. Executive sessions. I'm laughing at myself because earlier when Tony Chiba, when he was mentioning my sister, Cosmo Queen, I love how she goes into I have to talk to her. I love how she goes into speaking so freely about, what she sees underneath the exoteric. Oh, you do? Thank you. And guess what? This is my real hair. There's some gray coming out, though. I like to say it's my real hair because don't worry, y'all. I will sometimes wear a very, very wild wig, and I don't care if people don't like it. Well, most people do like it. But, there's this whole stigma about, the black woman shouldn't wear fake hair because she's hating herself. No, I like to wear different hairstyles. And I don't usually like to straighten my hair because it's not good. So sometimes I'll throw on a very glamorous wig, or maybe not so glamorous. But thank you. Yes, I love you for saying that. Thank you. What else? But don't get me wrong, I love my afro too. It's my crown. And those little spirals are like antennae receiving, pushed out into the ether. And it's very sensitive. But anyway, all hair is like that though. All hair is antennae. That's why we say, what do we say when we get a spiritual? Let me see. Before I go through, I love everybody. I didn't go through the whole list. I'm sorry. Max Bird, I saw you in there. Rose. What do we say when we get the chills? We say what? Anybody about hair? Nobody? I know. That's right, Benita. That's my sister. I love her so much. Thank you, Executive Sessions. Thank you, Child of Light. That's what I'm saying. And that's how it goes. Love yourself. Feel good. Especially as women. Give us a break. I know there's some sisters out there who are wearing their hair, their wigs like helmets. We can't fault them. Somebody needs to sit them down and say, let me help you with this thing. Like for me, I'm always amazed how those sisters do those lace fronts. That is like, talk about magicians. Whoo, they're fire. And they do it so easily. Goosebumps. Yes. What about this one? My hair stood on end. Right? Very interesting. When you're a child, you used to do the balloon static electricity thing. Anybody? No? Just me? Oh, thank you, Animal Instincts. That is very kind. Your energy is always good when you are in your own lane. Be yourself, Queen. I like that. That was the dope was like a like there's either bah like wrong or dope right. So that was a dope. Absolutely right. So anyway, all right. Kundalini goosebumps. With that said, peace to the darkest minds of the light. Assalamu alaikum, shalom, hotep, namaste, jambo, ashe. And I will see you over in the battlefield of the HOK on the HOK platform. I remember that when I was a kid. You guys are awesome. I do like being over here. I love being over on the HOK platform too. Same. Most of you are the same audience, but I just feel really good over here. Yes, my little cousin, well, not little anymore, does a lace front. Ooh, oh, okay. Even though I will see her do it, if I was to ever wear a lace front, would never be able to put a lace front on my own head. I'm real. I know what I can do and what I can't do. Like, there's no way. I can't even do my own makeup barely. So I would like her IG link just to see her do her work. And so yeah, thank you. Be there or be squared. Be there or be squared. That's right, Rose. Peace, family. All right, I'm ending this stream. Thank you. Remember the horns, blood sacrifice, serpents, snakes, cannibalism. Bible, it doesn't say that it's against God. Actually, the Bible ordains a lot of that. And with the serpent and the horns, a lot of the godly characters like Moses, Jesus, they have been depicted or described in the text as having remember the transfiguration of Jesus, the light. Same thing as Moses. Those are the horns, the crown. Anyway, the eternal life. All right, I hate to leave, but I have to go. Guess I'll wait till it gets to 33. Oh, shout out to King Simon. I got to get King Simon in touch with Esoteric Thoughts. King Simon, if you see this at all, I'm going to send you the email, but I want you to, I would love to see you featured on Esoteric Thoughts. I want you to really get in touch with that brother and that channel and share your knowledge. So shout out to, and of course, shout out to Sonnetter of the HOK and HOK family. Shout out to everyone. Okay. I think I'm good now. Just wait until it goes to 33. I'm so silly. Well, you know what? I'm not silly because I like the numerology. So peace.